Hey, it's great to see everybody. I hope everyone had a nice summer. It's great to be back. Obviously, a tragic deal not having one of our brothers out here with us today. It's been a obviously somber time since we've come back. Coach Zim and Rick have done a fantastic job of leading the staff and helping everyone out. And I had the opportunity to work with Tony on 2 separate occasions in Oakland and here, and he emulated everything you want in a person and as a coach. First off, he was a great husband. He was a great family man, a great grandfather, and as a coach, just took pride in his job, took pride in his relationship with his players, and it was a really joy for me to be around every day. And I was very, very lucky to be able to call him a friend. And my thoughts obviously go out with his wife Jeanette, who is very close with our family and his kids. And obviously, we're going to miss our friend very, very much. I think just Tony was always really steady, and whether it be we had that year in Oakland where he took over as a head coach. I don't know if a lot of people remember. It was Derek Carr's rookie year, and we started off the season 0-10, and Tony was the same guy every day. And it taught me a lot that in the length of the NFL season and how tough it is week in and week out, just be yourself. And Tony was himself every day, never changed. And then obviously I think, as you saw us, we won 3 of our last 6 games. And I think a lot of that was because of Tony. It's great to have everyone back, and it's good to get the rookies back because obviously this is their first NFL training camp. And it was such a whirlwind for a lot of these guys going from the combine to the draft, to visits and all those things where finally they had an opportunity to play football here, but they didn't have. I'm not sure how much they had a chance to retain. So the thing that I was most proud of, when we went out yesterday, was we had very, very few mental errors. So that tells you that our rookies did a good job of staying up with the information this summer and making sure that they take pride in their job. I'm sorry. Yeah, he looks really, really good, and we're looking forward to getting the pads on and seeing where Dalvin's at, and we expect him to be full go. I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it's great for Kirk. I think it's great for all the quarterbacks to be here because it allows us, when the whole group's not here, to have a lot more time to get into the why we're doing things. And we're so time limited in the spring installing a new offense, and now it was just rush. You're so time limited with the players that now you have a chance to kind of get into the the nuts and bolts of what you're trying to do, and so it's been really, really good for us to have all those guys back, and not only Kirk. I'll be quite honest with you. I'm not sure what the rules are. All I know is that the quarterbacks are allowed to come back with the rookies and injured guys. So, I'm not the right guy to ask for that, but we're glad he's here.
How enthusiastic has he been just coming in and starting?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. We've had an opportunity to go back and look at a lot of tape from the spring and some of the good things we did and some of the things that we need to work on. So like I said, anytime you have an extended period of time where it's not rush all the time before the bullets start flying, I think that's a good thing for our, not only Kirk, but everyone on our offense. I tell you, our whole staff have been pros since this happened, and it's a credit to Coach Zim, number one, with the people that he hired. And he hired not only great coaches, but great character people. And Clancy's, obviously on our staff and has done a great job of stepping up, as Todd Downing did with the tight ends. So I think it starts with the character of this coaching staff, and it's carried down from Coach Zimmer's leadership.
How important have the veterans been in maintaining that consistency?
I'm sorry?
How important have the veterans on the offensive line been in maintaining that consistency?
I'm very fortunate. This is my 12th year in the NFL, and the one room that usually stays the same is the offensive line, because they're always really, really tight. They're usually really smart guys and guys with really good character. And when you have those 3 qualities, when something tragic as this happens, they have a tendency of kind of banding together as brothers. And they call themselves brothers and trying to help each other get through such a tragic situation. I'll tell you, Brian, I think, has gotten stronger over the summer. I think I saw him anchor down yesterday, which is better. When I say anchor, I mean, kind of be able to, stymie the defensive end at the line of scrimmage. I saw better combination blocks out of him and Gossett on the right side yesterday. So I think it's just the combination of getting those reps from spring, I think, has really done him well carrying over from spring. Well, sure. I mean, you never want to go through something like this, but obviously it happened, and it provides you with another guy that's coached a position in the NFL, that's called plays in the NFL. So obviously, our tight ends these last few days have been not in good hands, but in great hands with Todd. So I think anytime you have, the more great coaches on your staff you have, I think that obviously that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, Tony and I, kind of gravitated towards each other from the start. We're both East Coast Italians. We know a lot of the same people. We grew up the same way. And we both take the game very, very seriously. So I think when you have those qualities, I think you have a tendency to gravitate towards those people. I just remember being so happy for Coach that night because not only was it a national TV game against Kansas City, a Thursday night game, Coach had inherited a really, really tough situation and handled it as well as probably anybody out there in the National Football League could have handled it. So I just remember being so happy for not only our football team, but for him, because like I said, he had stayed so consistent to what he believes in that it finally paid off for him. I mean, I think you obviously see the explosiveness. You see, we're not giving him a ton of reps. He's taking individual and he's getting reps here and there. But he got in the blitz period yesterday and he was assignment perfect. So I think that when you see a young player that understands protections the way he does at an early age, I think that's really unique. And obviously he has the pass catching ability and the running ability that we've all seen. But obviously a lot of times when you play that position at the running back position, I think pass protection sometimes gets overlooked.
When you got to look at the amount of film in the first month last year, do you come in and sort of look to develop the offense around him, or what was your approach there?
I'm not sure you develop an offense around anybody because it takes 11 guys to play the game. Obviously, you want to get your best players in mismatches against the where you feel are mismatches against your opponent. But I would be hard pressed to say that'd be doing a disservice to the other guys that are really, really good players on our football team to say that we're going to build our offense around one person. Who? I'm sorry. It's windy back here, guys. I apologize. Yeah, Jake is just a really smart guy. He's assignment perfect. I mean, very rarely does he have a mental bust. He's running good routes. For a guy that's a big guy like that, I mean, you have to be assignment perfect and route perfect, to use your body to be able to get open and lean on people and being able to, will yourself to get open a little bit more when you're not a burner. So those are the things I've really liked from Jake. And obviously, the hands, he has fantastic hands. Yeah, we're looking forward to competition at all spots, and obviously some spots are going to be highlighted a little bit more than others. There's no doubt. I mean, I'd be lying to you if it's not. But at the same time, we want to get as many good players on this team as we can and create competition everywhere.
What are some of the challenges and opportunities of coming into a new team at the same time a new quarterback is also coming into a new team?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I'm glad we had the off season, and I think you just feel. Not that I don't want to say Kirk was very, very he's a confident guy, but I can see his confidence in what we're doing. And usually that confidence is gained by your knowledge and feeling comfortable what you're doing. I mean, I go out there and I'm out playing golf, and all of a sudden I try to pitch and run an 8-iron when I'm not used to doing that. I mean, I need some practice at that, just like going into a new offense. So, I think he's feeling more comfortable what we're doing. I think he's feeling more comfortable, obviously, in his environment that he's working in, the people he's working with, and myself, Kevin Stefanski, and all the other coaches that he's working with. It was good to see Stacy back out there yesterday, and he had a couple really nice second-level releases yesterday, and we're looking forward to him having a big camp, and he needs to, continue what he was doing before he had the injury in spring, because he was doing some really nice things for us. Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. And when you're the guy, okay, I've said something for a long time, okay, this is something I truly believe in. If there's a quarterback competition, you don't have one, okay? You don't have one. And I've been at spots before where there is quarterback competition, and you're worried because neither guy is really stepping, in front of the other one and separating himself from the other guy. So to be quite honest with you, if there's quarterback competition, usually you don't have one. So we don't have that here. And I think we exude that confidence in Kirk. I think he exudes that confidence in us. And we're really looking forward to him playing well this year and leading our football team and getting us first downs and third down conversions and scoring in the red zone and playing situationally smart. All the things that we preach to our quarterbacks. So I think it's a combination of a lot of those things I just mentioned on why Kirk feels that way, and we feel that way about him. Sure. I'm really looking forward to seeing that next step from Brandon in terms of putting the pads on. And obviously, we have no pads on in the spring. We have no pads on here right now. So, guys like Brandon that don't have a lot of experience in the NFL, along with our rookies and some of our other young players, I'm really looking forward to them, when we're getting press coverage, okay? When we're moving around a little bit. I mean, you watched our practice yesterday. It's pretty stationary. We're not moving around a lot like we did in spring. So when the installation starts to get heavier, not only Brandon, but all of our players, when they're going up against our defense and pads, they've got to step up. Just do his job, and I think that's the key to winning any spot is do your job and do it at a high level. When there's a play to be made, you make it, and when there's a play to be made in a tight contested area, you make that play. So those are the things that with Brandon that I'm really, really excited to see him do, because I think he can do those things. I do. I really think he can do those things. So I'm really excited to see him do those.
The CFL is so different, especially for wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you scout or find a CFL player that you want to bring in?
I'm going to be quite honest with you. I couldn't tell you really much about the CFL at all. I respect the CFL a ton. Those guys up there do a great job, but I'm not really one to ask about the CFL.